Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is News at 12. In the local scene, the Albay Provincial Health Office has distributed multiple micronutrient supplement to nearly 300 expectant mothers in Albay. The distribution was part of the recently concluded Buntis Summit 2025 held at the Morrison Hotel in Legazpi City. According to PHO's Safe Motherhood Program Coordinator, Maria Julian Urbasi Garcia, these health commodities contain a blend of essential vitamins and minerals that help address widespread micronutrient deficiencies, particularly among expectant mothers. Garcia noted that the supply is sourced from the PHO's nutrition program and was donated by Vitamin Angels Philippines, a non-profit organization dedicated to improving nutrition and health outcomes for underserved women and children. In addition to providing MMS, the PHO also offered blood pressure monitoring and invited pregnant mothers identified with high-risk pregnancies from various rural health units and city health offices. The summit also celebrated the 21st National Buntis Day with the theme Together for Mothers, Empowering Communities for Safer Pregnancies. In other story, the Provincial Health Office is actively promoting the importance of family planning, focusing on achieving proper birth spacing rather than solely preventing pregnancy. Levi M. Llagas, the Provincial Family Planning Coordinator, explained that the main goal of family planning is to help couples achieve appropriate birth spacing, ensuring that parents have adequate time, around 3 to 5 years, to concentrate on their child's development before having another child. She also emphasized that proper spacing between pregnancies benefits mothers by allowing them time to recover, rest, and explore job opportunities. Additionally, Llagas commended the women of Albay for their growing awareness of family planning, as well as the health workers who diligently provide this information to even the most remote communities. Records from the health office show a high satisfaction rate of 74.84% for Albay's family planning program in 2024, indicating that increasing number of women and families in Albay are becoming more aware of family planning. In the national scene, Malacanang has assured the public that it is prepared to repatriate approximately 250,000 Filipinos in Taiwan if tensions arise between China and Taiwan. Communications Undersecretary Claire Castro made this statement following Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief General Romeo Bronner's urging of military personnel to prepare for potential spillover effects in the event of a Taiwan invasion. In a press briefing, Castro reassured the public that there is no need for alarm regarding Bronner's comments, noting that government forces must be prepared. When asked if the government had discussed potential scenarios involving Filipinos in Taiwan, the palace press officer stated that more details would be provided by the Department of National Defense and the AFP. Castro emphasized that the government is ready, particularly for the possible repatriation of Filipinos from Taiwan should the situation worsen. She urged Filipinos in Taiwan to remain calm and assured them of the government's support. In another story, the House Prosecution Panel is finalizing preparations for the upcoming impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte, with just 3 months remaining before the proceedings begin. House Prosecutor Lawrence Defensor stated that the team is currently 80% ready, focusing on anticipating potential defenses that may be raised by Duterte's legal team. The Iloilo lawmaker mentioned that the prosecution panel has been conducting mock trials to navigate the complexities of the case better and refine their strategy. In addition to the House prosecutors, a group of experienced private litigators is expected to assist in presenting evidence before the Senate impeachment court to ensure the vice president's conviction. Currently, Vice President Duterte is in The Hague, Netherlands, attending to former President Rodrigo Duterte, who is detained at the International Criminal Court, awaiting trial for alleged crimes against humanity related to his administration's controversial drug war. According to the Senate timetable, summons will be issued on June 4, requiring the impeached official to respond to the articles of impeachment within 10 days. The trial is set to begin on June 30, following the transition to the 20th Congress and the swearing-in of 12 new senators. The House of Representatives impeached Vice President Duterte on February 5th, outlining 7 impeachable offenses, which include betrayal of public trust, culpable violation of the Constitution, bribery, graft and corruption, as well as other high crimes. In other news, the Philippine National Police will implement the stricter checkpoints set up by the Commission on Elections following a road altercation that resulted in a fatal shooting in Antipolo City. In a radio interview, PNP Chief Police General Romel Marbil announced that additional personnel from the Highway Patrol Group will be stationed at Comelec checkpoints. Following the recent road rage incident, many officers were already deployed at the border between Antipolo City and Marikina City. The PNP has heightened security measures to prevent election-related violence ahead of the 2025 midterm elections on May 12. Marbil stated that the PNP personnel have been assigned to monitor and enforce election-related laws, including the ban on firearms during the election period. As of now, a total of 2,056 individuals have been arrested for violating the election gun ban, and 2,147 firearms have been seized. On Tuesday, Marbil announced stricter penalties for those who irresponsibly use firearms and proposed a perpetual disqualification for individuals involved in gun-related offenses, preventing them from renewing their license to own and possess firearms and firearms registrations. The PNP chief further recommended the revocation of existing LTOPF and firearm registrations for those demonstrating reckless behavior, ensuring that they no longer legally own firearms. Marbil emphasized that responsible gun ownership can reduce the risk of violence, enhance public safety, and create a more secure environment for everyone. And in the news outside the country, the United States has imposed sanctions on Hong Kong's police chief, justice secretary, and other officials due to concerns about human rights violations following China's crackdown on the financial hub. The sanctions against Police Commissioner Raymond Hsu Chok-yi and others will block their interest in the U.S. and generally criminalize any financial transactions with them under the U.S. law. This action marks a rare instance of the Trump administration invoking human rights, as President Trump has labeled China an adversary but has not hesitated to ally with autocratic leaders. In response, Hong Kong vehemently condemned the sanctions, calling them an attempt to intimidate officials who are safeguarding national security, and defended its efforts to target pro-democracy figures abroad. And finally, in the news outside the country, South Korean police are prepared to mobilize all available resources to prevent violence during the upcoming court ruling on the fate of impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol. Top tourist sites will be closed, and embassies are warning citizens to stay away from the area. The Constitutional Court of South Korea is set to decide whether to strip Yoon of his office due to his failed declaration of martial law. This situation has already led his suspension by lawmakers and his arrest on insurrection charges, where the court in downtown Seoul has become a focal point of tension with ongoing protests in the vicinity. In response, police took action on Tuesday to seal the streets to prevent potential clashes. Every weekend, hundreds of thousands of supporters and opponents of Yoon gather in the streets of South Korean capital, with dedicated groups on both sides establishing tent camps and holding all-night demonstrations. In preparation for the court's decision, more than 14,000 riot police will be deployed in Seoul. As a precaution, over a dozen nearby schools and several shops in the neighborhood will be closed on the day of the verdict, and the major tourist attractions such as Gyeongbok Palace and Changdeok Palace, which are within walking distance of the court, will also be closed, according to the Korean Heritage Services. And that's all for the news at 12, April 4, 2025. We'll be back next week for more news updates. Thanks to our news writer, Albay PIO and Erica Dumlao. And on the technical side, Chad Bobis. And of course, our Provincial Information Officer, Mary Luduga Castillo. And under the supervision of our Governor, Baby Glenda Ongbungao, I am Greg Hallare. Thank you for subscribing.